Johannesburg is more than just South Africa's economic hub. It's a gateway to opportunity across the continent. But behind every conference, exhibition, and business gathering, there's a much bigger story unfolding, one that goes beyond attendance numbers and into real economic impact, job creation, and long-term growth. Now, today, we're unpacking that story. I'm joined by Rendani Khorombi, Executive Head of Tourism Strategic Services at the Johannesburg Tourism Company. With over 17 years in the tourism sector, Rendani has played a key role in positioning Johannesburg as a destination for both business and leisure travel. Rendani, welcome to Africa Event Connect.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So wonderful to have you here. Really, really wonderful. And to get into the behind the scenes of your everyday work.
Indeed.
Right. But before we get into the strategy,
Sure.
let's take me back for a moment. Okay.
Yeah.
When you first stepped into tourism, did you realize the kind of impact this industry could actually have?
Of course, and not at all, actually, because I think, I'm not sure if tourism was my first love. I think the story is popular to a lot of people in terms of careers.
Mm-hmm.
I think in my head, at some point, I thought I wanted to do law. And then, somehow I found myself studying tourism. But definitely I didn't expect the impact that tourism would have. But along the way, the journey, then one realized that indeed I was not lost. I was redirected correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stepping stones.
Sure.
Okay. So now let's look at this, right? Business events are often just seen as gatherings.
Sure.
But from your perspective, what role do you think they really play in driving Johannesburg's tourism strategy and the broader economic impact? I mean, you've worked on this for a while.
Sure.
It's your passion.
Sure. No, indeed, there are a lot of benefits behind the actual events taking place.
Mm-hmm.
One, there's issue of sustaining jobs or sustaining the economy. If I were to elaborate a bit of behind that, if you look at, if you've got business events that are taking place in the backdrop of Meetings Africa that took place now, I know the numbers are not yet confirmed officially in terms of the attendees. Meetings Africa that took place in February 2026 at Sandton Convention Center. When I'm talking about sustainability, the whole value chain within tourism gets to be influenced positively. If you look at hotels, people that are delegates that were in attendance, they booked at hotels, they were eating somewhere, they were having fun somewhere, they were paying for transport, and that contribute to the sustainability of jobs within the sector. And beyond that, there's also issue of the economic impact within the municipality or city of Johannesburg, as well as South Africa as a whole. So when business events take place here, the value chain that I've made reference to earlier on, then there is an economic impact to measure the impact of a tourist. If I were to give an example with one, maybe just say a buyer from Spain that came to Meetings Africa, as I've said earlier on, they would have slept at Hotel X, ate at Restaurant X, and maybe have fun or go for leisure activities within maybe Soweto or any other township within the city of Johannesburg or outside the province. So the impact that they leave behind in the sector, it's huge. So I think basically beyond the numbers, there is that impact that would be created through business events. So I think just imagine if we did not have this kind of big events taking place within our space.
Absolutely. But do you think that the industry is doing enough to communicate its value, right? Because that's often underestimated. Are we underselling ourselves as an industry?
I believe not intentionally underselling ourselves, but unintentionally we are underselling ourselves. Yes, this the significance of tourism is always there. I know in the president's annual speech, he would make reference to tourism as an important role player within the industry. But broadly, I think we are not taking pride collectively and sell our sector I think in addition to what I said earlier on, just also look at jobs that are created from the actual sector. If we were to maybe from ourselves as the industry expert, industry role players, if we outplay what the industry has, the impact it has in the economy or in the destination as a whole, I think would go far. As I've made reference of employment opportunities, imagine the world, or imagine the city of Johannesburg, where you've got business events taking place every day. How many people will be constantly being employed? I know tourism at times, it creates both permanent as well as temporal employment.
Yes.
If you are creating temporal employment every 3 days, the people that are employed through the tourism activities every third day, they will feel like they are employed every day.
Absolutely.
As permanent employees. So I think from ourselves, we need to, I think, go beyond the small scope that we talk about, because the value chain of tourism is bigger. So collectively, we should sell it more than what we're doing now.
And I suppose it's about your job is about encouraging
Sure.
regular events within Johannesburg, right?
Sure.
To promote that so that we're creating employment on a daily basis, I suppose, right?
Yes, that's correct,
I mean, we just came off this weekend now as we talk currently, we're sitting in March 2026, one of the biggest events in the world that happened here in Johannesburg, Live Golf, right? That you're probably really proud of.
Yes, extremely proud, because, I've been attending some status quo meeting within the city of Johannesburg and Gauteng as a province in terms of the status of, the state of readiness. One of the things that I was so proud when the event organizers were giving us status, at some point we're at 70,000 tickets sold. At some point they said 90,000. Now we are, the show is completely sold. So that on its own, it's so big for the destination, and we don't see that value. Imagine the kind of businesses that have benefited from such big events, because there's a value chain. There are suppliers that are involved that we don't talk about. Yes, we do talk about, but there are those suppliers that are benefiting from the actual event. How many people would have been employed for the actual event, just one event, with 90,000 plus attendees? So I think that's on its own. It goes beyond the actual maybe jobs.
Yes.
Even, okay, I'll just give an examples from golf suppliers. How many benefited from, whether from South Africa? There are a lot of golf balls that are used. I don't know who the suppliers are, but on its own, the supply will be required through the actual event.
Yes. And I suppose it's also the long-term effect of that event thereafter on that community in Johannesburg, right? And South Africa as a whole.
Yes. Indeed, because it has to go beyond the actual day of the event. I think there should be it also assists with the infrastructure development within our space.
Of course.
Because if you are going to host the globe, of course, your standard, you do have to polish it a bit, enhance it a bit, not to suggest that when there are no events, the standard should drop. But with bigger events coming on, we know we are competing globally. So we have to ensure that our infrastructure is up to scratch. So if the more of this we have, the more the infrastructure development or upgrade happens, the more whoever was providing the infrastructure gets to create employment, to sustain jobs, also to assist other suppliers or businesses within the space, the more the economy grows within the actual city. So from the hosting of event, beyond just the hosting part of it, there's a long-term benefit for the city. There are also maybe legacy effect related to that. Probably we can influence some golf clinics, so you're also able to say, how do you make a child, one a girl or boy, to dream to play for within the live golf space or the golfing space through this event? There might be one child or more who might not have been aware about this golf, right? But when they had live golf, what's this live golf about? So such events does also influence certain dreams for the young ones, so they can shape their future through different avenues in life. So it's
Absolutely.
not just about this event itself, but it goes beyond that.
It certainly does. And I think sometimes as an industry, we take it for granted.
Yeah.
We don't realize the impact that we have.
Sure.
So as event organizers and planners, that is our business, to organize these events, to execute them effectively so that there's a great return on investment for the owners of these events and the people that attend the event. But we don't stop to understand the legacy impact, the impact on the environment, the economy, the infrastructure. And as every single person living in Johannesburg, we've all benefited from this.
Yes.
Right?
We definitely do. Yeah.
We definitely do.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, if business events disappeared tomorrow, what would Johannesburg actually lose?
Collapse is a strong word, but we will lose a lot. And this sounds so cliche, but if you look at Johannesburg as a city, about 74% of the business headquarters are based here in South Africa. About 74% of South Africa's headquarters are based within the city of Johannesburg. So those are business headquarters.
Right.
It does suggest that if we don't have business events, even the business quarters might be affected, because Johannesburg on its own is a business destination.
Yes.
So if we don't have business events taking place, I think the most painful reference that I'll make is the COVID would give you an answer to that, to say what would happen.
Yeah.
I know with us at the space, I know some of the venues, they had to lay off staff because there were no business events.
Yeah.
So similarly, I think without overstretching it, if you don't have business events, that means those people that are working at the convention center, conference venues, that means they don't have employment anymore, because their employment was reliant on the attendees coming to the show.
Yeah.
That means hotels, they are no longer the occupancy rate. Maybe if it might drop from whatever percentage that they are working on to maybe 30% or 40%. That means you are losing employment. That means the economy is suffering. I think the long-term effect, it's huge. Your tour operators that were relying on business events. Remember, when business events are here, we always encourage them to say, yes, go behind the closed doors, but go and explore the city.
Yes.
And when you're exploring the city, you rely on the service providers, which are tour operators, as well as other value chains such as a restaurant. Then there'll be less, the frequency of visitors or participant to those businesses will significantly go down. Therefore, the impact of absence of business events, I think it's a crisis. It's beyond COVID. I think, let me just put it that way.
Wow.
It's beyond COVID.
Yeah. And I think
it's beyond COVID impact.
Yeah. I'm glad you're saying that, because it's important for us as an industry to understand the impact that we have.
Sure.
It's not just a job.
Sure.
We're actually feeding an entire ecosystem.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's move to partnerships.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if I think about partnerships, they're everything in this industry, right?
Sure.
But in reality, they're not always straightforward. Okay. We know that.
Sure.
How does Joburg Tourism work with event organizers and stakeholders to actually ensure successful events?
Sure.
That you're not alone in this.
Sure.
There's an entire ecosystem here to support you, right?
Yes, yeah. So I think with us as Joburg Tourism Company, what we normally do intentionally, what I've also been driving from my position as the executive head for tourism strategic services, is to ensure that that partnership does thrive. I think from a business, because it's on our side, is from both business events as well as leisure events.
Of course.
Leisure events are driven by destination marketing and events within the organization. But on our side, we intentionally have these meetings or with stakeholders, which include your associations that are in the space of business events, also venues that are in the space of business events. So what I would normally do, I think now as we speak, we are busy engaging with the venues. what we are doing with them is that when associations or business planners come to your space looking for quotations or looking for your venue, don't limit it to the actual quotation. Involve our value add as the convention bureau to say, yes, we know you're looking for this venue, but did you know that Johannesburg Convention Bureau can assist you with X, Y, Z in terms of the My Support program that we have, wherein we're able to support business events that are bringing event here. I know some of the major element that we have is the health and safety or safety of the actual event. One, there is JOC, which is Joint Operation Committee for event organizers.
Yes.
I know it's not a huge cost at small scale event, but it does make an impact. So one of the things that we do as value add, we say as Johannesburg Tourism Company, we are able to assist event organizers with this cost element of it.
Okay.
There's also support with venue cost with regards to hosting events
within
our space. So even with meeting planners, we then go and have these discussions with them to say, if you get an opportunity for an event that you want to host within South Africa, we are here, we are raising our hand as Johannesburg to ensure that we partner with you for bringing these events here. So we ensure that the value adds are there so that some of the cost that you might have, we're able to mitigate from our side. Of course, we don't do it alone since we are talking the context of partnership. Primarily, we would work with Gauteng Tourism Authority, the Convention Bureau side, as well as South African Tourism, the National Convention Bureau. So for all events taking place within Johannesburg, Gauteng being the province where Johannesburg is based, that's where the partnership will come in, will kick in, and then South Africa being the owner of the country, then we will then partner. And then also other relevant stakeholders for event. So if the conference is it's a health conference or pharmaceutical related conference, on our side, we'll then also approach the I think the department in the public sector that are in the same space.
I see.
Whether we go to Department of Health provincially and locally, so that then enhance the hosting of the event. So I think the partnership goes beyond the actual hosting of the event, because with business events, there are also technical side visit that take place during the hosting of the event. It's not even about the money aspect of supporting the event. Some, they need to leave the legacy if it's health related. Maybe some, they've got an objective to say, what can we leave beyond the hosting of the conference within the city of Johannesburg. So from the context of partnership, I think it goes beyond just word partnership.
Yes,
but
it's not as straightforward as that.
Yeah,
yes.
True, yeah.
So at what point should organizers be engaging with you, and what would they miss out if they don't? I mean, a lot from what you've said now.
Yeah.
But at what point in time can they start engaging with you?
I always say all the time, when I always say to event organizers or stakeholders, please come engage with us at the stage where you are still thinking about it.
Early.
At that stage when you're still thinking, you know what, I want to go for this conference or there's this opportunity. That's a good time for us to engage, so that we start with the process together to ensure that our partnership must ensure that it's more of an incentive to bring an event to the city of Johannesburg. I think that's a good moment where we can all work together for the event. Whereas when you are coming at the end, I always say, jokingly but seriously, I always say, okay, Prajun is saying you've got an event that you're bringing in August. It's confirmed. So you don't really need me because the event is already here.
Yes.
So, but be that as it may, because I'm the destination, I will still support you, but at a very small scale.
Of course.
Because now it looks like now you want to maximize more on the profit side than the hosting of the actual event.
I see.
So the best way of approaching us, it is before the event is confirmed. That's the best.
Okay.
You will get value And also, besides the value, sometimes where we will miss out, there are other support services that you might not have at the time you are approaching the event, the decision maker of the event. They would say, we can't because you failed to support with X, Y, and Z. So with our support, it might be that stepping stone for the event to take place within our space.
Okay, wonderful. At the inception.
Sure.
When the first thought hits your mind,
Sure. Yeah.
contact Johannesburg Tourism. All right. So let's look at positioning of Johannesburg as a city, right?
Yeah.
When international or regional planners are choosing this destination, what makes Johannesburg really stand out as an event destination?
Sure. I think one, I want to bring facts on the table. Within the continent, I'm talking about the continent because we're competing as the continent. We want business events, all of us. One is accessibility. Yes, we're a bit of a long-haul destination as Africa, but connectivity to Johannesburg, it's one of our biggest advantages.
That's true.
I know we've got just over 42 airlines that are serviced at OR Tambo International Airport. We've got a complementing airport at the Lanseria. So if you can't get to a destination, if you don't have routes servicing the destination, therefore people won't come to your destination. So
and
that's
regular routes, right?
Yeah.
Frequent
flights coming here. So that's great. So yes, tick the box. You are able to be accessed. Are you able to host? We've got infrastructure that can complement that.
Yes.
And sometimes I don't even stress myself to try and mention roads, this and that. I just go back to our history of hosting events.
Yes.
There is no way that the world will keep on coming to Johannesburg if our infrastructures are not up to scratch.
That's true.
You know, the first G20 was hosted in Johannesburg, in the south at the Johannesburg Expo Center.
That's right.
The biggest conferences are taking place within the space within our city. I think generally as a destination, look at I'm just going for the big ones.
Sure.
The 2010 World Cup.
I was thinking about that.
The huge chunk of matches or prominent matches took place here in Johannesburg at they used the FNB Stadium, which was Soccer City then, renamed Soccer City for FIFA rights, as well as what is this? Ellis Park Stadium was used for hosting events. Other stadia were used for training facilities for the World Cup. So that means these people that were here, where were they sleeping? They were sleeping here. It means our infrastructure is up to scratch.
Yes.
So without, I think, overstretching the issue of infrastructure, the events that take place, you've made mention of the Leaf Golf that took place recently. Meetings Africa has been happening for the past 20 years. Other global events are coming to Johannesburg. So the infrastructure part also play a significant role. And we are also a good host of our events. I think what also assists, as I've said, the business quarters that are based here also gives an advantage to say when the globe gathers here to talk about any other issues, whether it's in the banking sector, their stakeholders are here, they'll be able to reach out and they become part of the conversations. Yeah. So I think the overall value chain from our side, you can easily have a 360 of services of what you're looking for within Johannesburg.
Yeah, you are so right. We are very, very fortunate to have great infrastructure.
And we are grateful for that.
We are. Yeah. And I think, like you're saying, and these significant events have left legacies within the system, the infrastructure system, right?
Yeah.
And we're just building on it all the time.
Yeah.
So there's great improvements. I mean, even from 2010 till now,
Sure.
like you're saying, there's been milestone
Sure.
events that have happened
Yes. Yeah.
that have helped Johannesburg
Yeah.
maintain that infrastructure.
Yes. So the more of this you have, the more you also maintain the infrastructure, subconsciously so.
Yes.
Whether it's intentional, but for the event, then you have to be intentional about it. So it assists the infrastructure to be up to scratch. Within our hotels, then they must be up to scratch, because before we bring these business events,
Yes,
there are site inspections that take place,
that is true.
which then determine the actual hosting. So if we go to a hotel and then we say we want to see the facilities that we have, the hotel must up their game, and which they always do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have to admit, Johannesburg being so close to the Kruger National Park
Sure.
is another asset.
Yes. Because I think the Kruger National Park, as well as other offerings, are a plus for us as Johannesburg, as Africa, because I know the European delegates,
Yes.
they want to experience what they don't have.
Yes.
I think the closest they have to animals is the zoo.
Right.
So beyond the zoo, I think they'll experience authentic nature.
Yeah. And we have great accessibility to that
Sure.
via Johannesburg. So
Yes.
that's really wonderful. Now, there's often a gap between perception and reality as
Sure.
well, right?
Sure.
But what do people think
Mm.
Johannesburg is? There's that perception
Sure.
versus what it actually offers. What is your take on that?
Okay. The most painful one is people think Johannesburg is that jungle. It's unsafe.
Concrete jungle.
Yes, and so unsafe,
Uh-huh.
which is, it's not entirely true in terms of as a destination. We all know all destinations, they've got their own challenges. There are other areas that need to have some more attention, where you need to pay attention where you are walking around. But if that mindset or perception about the city can be removed from people,
Mhm.
and then we deal with reality,
Mm.
then it will assist the destination much bigger. I think this also affects South Africa as a destination, because when you're talking about Joburg, there's also the same perception about South Africa.
Yeah.
And I know you're talking about Johannesburg, but the problem with that perception is that it stays longer in people's mind, and you know the word of mouth, it's
Yes.
more powerful
Yes.
than anything. So closer to the word of mouth is the experience of the event. I mean the destination.
Mhm.
I think what assists us a lot is that these big events keep on coming here to Johannesburg, and it assists to sell the destination. One, or a case in point, the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, which is annual, takes
yes.
place at the Sandton Convention Center. It has a huge following from the American market. They strictly come for the jazz, and they also then experience part of South Africa. So that on its own also assists with visitors when they go back to their homes or their respective destination. They will spread a positive word of mouth for us
Yes.
to assist better. So there's also your DST Delicious
Yes. Delicious festival.
Delicious
Yes.
festival that happens, wherein it's able to assist when because it attracts also some market from outside the country. So when they go back to the destination, they also spread a positive word of mouth. So I think for me, the perception about safety, it's far from reality when you come and experience. Otherwise, if it was true, right, why would these different events, business and leisure, keep on coming back?
Yeah.
Who wants to
Absolutely.
go to an unsafe destination?
Absolutely.
So I would say the fact that leisure and business events keep on returning, keep on coming here, it's a true reflection of what the city is and what
Completely.
is not.
Completely.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that this has been the hardest objection in
Sure.
terms of
Yeah.
what you're overcoming to
Sure.
position Johannesburg,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the biggest, and the other one that does not assist as well is that as industry stakeholders, we also need to sing with the same voice, because I've heard wherein you would be selling at the destination outside the country,
Right.
and you would hear somebody not really speaking positively about other destination within their own country. That's not a good thing to do.
No. No.
And you are spreading the perception that is not correct.
Yes.
So if we can also come together, if we move here, as you're making reference to being in Moscow for a show, a tourism show, if we go here from here as South Africans or Africans going to sell Africa, please don't sell Kenya because you don't know anything about it. Go and sell your destination. If you're asked about Kenya, yes, maybe Kenya, you don't have to lie. If you don't have the facts, refer them to the correct person for the destination so that we sell the destination properly than then saying negative things about the destination. I think that's just one of the biggest things that we have to undergo. But I guess it's something that we need to educate, even with our concierge, tourism stakeholders, so that we speak with with the same voice.
Yes.
When visitors are at that hotel in Sentin, when a visitor goes to a concierge, when they say, is it great to travel to experience the city? We need people to sell the city proudly. But you can't rely on them to do it naturally. We have to also educate them about what offerings are there so that they can, and we must also give them that experience of what the city has to offer so that they can proudly sell what the destination has to offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I suppose that goes back to what we should all be doing and what we really do aim to do as an industry, being part of a lot of the industry associations and the bodies. It's about that collaboration, right?
Yeah.
The more we collaborate, the more we can share information and the more we can speak with one voice, right?
Yeah, most certainly. I think we must use all these platforms. I know you are part of associations as well. These platforms, we must use them to also empower ourselves with some information. Sometimes it's lack of information. It's not even about anything, but sometimes it's a bit of not wanting to inform yourself. I think where I can plead with us as stakeholders, where you don't have or where you have got limited information, connect with the relevant stakeholders to be empowered or to provide the information for any product. Then we can be working towards a same direction because we are all working for one thing, to get our industry right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think if you're not aware of how to get hold of the relevant stakeholders, I think that's why it's so important to be part of the associations.
Yes.
Because as Joburg Tourism, as Gauteng Tourism, as South African Tourism, you're working via the associations to reach the event planners, the event organizers, and that ecosystem.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that we can all work together. So being part of an association allows you access to this information.
Most definitely, because you as associations, you also assist us to reach out to your members because your members might not be in our database, and from your side, then the members will be able to be empowered by the engagement that you'll be getting from us.
Absolutely. Now, talking about legacy and the future, let's look ahead, right? In the next 5 to 10 years, what do you think will make this city a truly competitive city? As a business events destination? What do you think we need to look to? We're ticking the boxes now. We spoke about a lot of the impact, but where do we need to get to? What do we need to? Where do we need to sharpen our game?
Sure. I think one, I've looked at this deeper in terms of, I was just looking at where do I want the city to be from business events point of view. I'll then say, yes, in terms of association meetings that are taking place within our space, I think I've got a desire to increase that, to ensure that we've got a lot of international associations coming to Johannesburg. It's going to assist greatly in terms of, one, the perception I was talking about, the city, and sell the city positively, and other benefits that I've mentioned earlier on, which I won't repeat. But more significantly, we as destinations, most of us are affiliated to ICA, the International Congress and Convention Association, or the other way around. I always get it twisted. International Congress and Convention Association, or the other way around. So if we get ourselves as affiliated to ICA on our side, we get measured through ICA. I know it's not the only measurement tool, but from a business events point of view, it's a good measuring tool. So if on our side as Johannesburg, it's my wish to be in the top 30 first within the, I want to be more practical than more ambitious, top 30 globally in terms of the business events.
Okay.
Then in Africa, I do want that top spot to be one of the leading. I know Cape Town has been very competitive as a hosting association meetings and other cities, including your Marrakesh, Kigali. So I will really want in the next 5 to 10 years to be leading the pack, which also is one of our own objective as Johannesburg Tourism Company, because we need to be a leading business and leisure destination in Africa. So that speaks to our own objective as the Johannesburg Tourism Company. Then if we lead the continent subsequently or by default, we will also be competing globally. So I've got my target in my head, which I won't mention here in terms of how I want to get there. But as together with the team, we are intending to ensure that we increase in the number of associations that take place. I think that's where we beat behind. We can up our game, and we are definitely going there.
Wonderful. Well, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I wish I could delve, but I see there's some top secrets being kept here for a while until you're ready to divulge how are you going to get us there.
Sure.
Because that's really interesting. But I think it's important at some point to share that so that with the ecosystem, so that, like we said, it's about that collaboration. Us all based here in Johannesburg and all those organizations that can take you forward, right?
Yes. No, indeed, I think you're right. Without going into details, but collaboration is one of the key. Maybe it's the how part that I don't want to talk about. But through collaborations, we will definitely get there. And we are moving step by step. We already have business events confirmed for the next coming 30 years. I know I'll give an example.
30 years.
I mean, no, not 30 years. I mean, 5
Till
years.
2030.
2030, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay.
We've got an event. It's just forgot the name of the conference. It's the Conference of Deaf Studies. We have partnered with Wits University,
right,
the Department of Deaf Studies, will be hosting a conference in 2030 for people in that space. In 2030 already, that has been confirmed. So those exciting opportunities that we have from our side also assist us to reach the goal. I think one of the key issues is to ensure that we cannot get to that top spot that I'm talking about if we don't have long-term commitments of bids that we winning as the business, as the convention bureau. So we are also ensuring that we are bidding for bids that are open in the next coming 5+ years.
Right.
So that by the time we get to 2030, we're just delivering and moving on to other outer years. Whether I'll still be part of the organization, that's something else. But I'm just talking about the long term, the 5 to 10 years, because we will definitely go for that spot based on such collaboration and the upping or enhancing our bidding, our competitive space in the bidding environment for these business events.
Now, you said something very interesting there in terms of upping the game and making sure we are competitive and the collaboration. If you had to redesign how Joburg approaches business events from scratch, right? What would you do differently?
I wouldn't subscribe to from scratch per se, but I get your question in terms of what could be done.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of expanding or redefining the collaboration, what it means. Sometimes as destination, we might have stick to the idea that bidding is about just me as a destination or us as a convention bureau, we go look for these leads and then we bid for them. Sometimes through collaboration, your association might be bidding for or looking at an opportunity, then you approach us.
Right.
So the question is, how do you then ensure that, this is me, how do you ensure that every association, or most associations, not every is a bit wild,
Yeah.
Most associations in Africa, when they want to bid for a business event or they're competing for it, how do we ensure that they always think of Johannesburg
Yes.
as my next partner?
Yes.
For me, if I get to that stage, that will be brilliant, because that means that the first conversation will start with us
Of course.
and not anyone else in the continent.
And I think what you're saying as well, it's really interesting, is good for people to know
Sure.
that as Joburg Tourism,
Sure.
you're not just looking at the next year.
Yes.
You're looking at events in 5 years' time.
Yes.
You've got your calendar scheduled for the next 5 years, if not
Yes.
longer,
Yes.
that you are bidding for. So it's you have to be really proactive, right?
Yeah, indeed. We have to be proactive, and we don't have to limit ourselves based on the years. There are processes where we are able to commit even beyond the 5 years in terms of events that needs to come here, to ensure that we are always certain of what we need. So from my side is that I can challenge every, whether association stakeholder, if you've got an event in 2040, bring to us, we'll make commitment. There are always processes to ensure that the commitment is there. We know as part of the municipality, the budget cycle within the municipality is more about 3 years, but there is a process where if it's beyond 3 years, you can take such commitments to council approval and beyond. So we are ready for us to commit beyond the actual 5 years.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, as event planners and organizers,
Yeah.
we are ready and waiting to support you.
Okay.
So we are really excited about that.
Yeah.
But I want to end this a little differently, right?
Sure. Okay.
What keeps you motivated in this role?
I think, not even I think, factually, the reason I developed so much passion for this is the business event side. Because when I started, I was more doing leisure on the visitor services, where I used to tell people where to go, how to experience, or where to experience the city, and also started at my early days trying the guiding, tour guiding.
Yeah.
But what keeps me going, that I'm passionate about, it's the opportunities created for human beings. There is no life without human beings.
Right.
So the employment opportunities created by business events, that's what I always strive for, because if you've got more of business events, you know, the unemployment rate that we have within South Africa, it speaks for itself.
Yeah,
it's higher.
It is high.
For me, if you, as I've said earlier on, if you've got business events every day, right? Or every third day in the test, you can have business events every day.
You can.
You just cannot have them every day in the same venue.
Of course.
But every day, if you can have
in the
business,
city.
in the city,
in the province,
if you can
absolutely.
have more of business event every day, then you are going to Alexandra, you're going to Diepsloot, you're giving opportunities for people to come and work for the to support during the hosting of the event. Remember, there are people with formal and informal and then qualifications. So the business events, that the reason I like them is that they give opportunity to everyone, from your top to your bottom, in terms of your experience.
Absolutely.
I'll just give a typical example. There's no business events. There is zero everywhere that does not require cleaning services, that does not require security.
Yep.
That does not require food.
That is so true.
You're not looking for an expert to clean a venue.
Yeah.
You're looking for human beings.
Yes.
So if you've got more of that,
yes,
you can employ people, go to the township, get people to be employed through this business events. And if you do it more often,
Yeah.
my heart will be
Full.
will be very full, because I also I'm from the township, so I know what people experience.
Yes.
So if you make a difference through these business events, it keeps me going. It keeps, because if I know if the if the venue is empty, I get worried. Hence, I said we are having this a constant engagement
Yes.
with venues to ensure that it's always filled. For me, I think I just want to repeat. For me, it's more about human beings.
Yeah.
If we make a difference to human beings, I think my chapter will be closed. But unfortunately, it won't be closed, because you must keep going to ensure that
Yes.
the job, you keep it, the sustainability of such jobs. For them to be there must be those business events taking place. Therefore, it means my passion should always be there. But at some point, as human beings, we get tired. We then must transfer the same skill or passion to other people.
And I love that you're saying that, because we talk about business events,
Sure.
creating connections,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Through those events, bringing businesses together so that we can drive business, they can do better business, they establish and build relationships.
Yes.
We're talking about those connections, those human connections that we bring together. But again, we underestimate the value that we have in the ecosystem, about the impact and the legacy we leave on communities, on those human beings.
Certainly.
Right? That's exactly what you're saying. We underestimate the value in the impact our events are leaving on communities with job creation and legacy projects and infrastructure development that benefits all.
That's true. I just want to make, I'm passionate. I love to talk a lot about that. I want to give an example with a simple venue that is in Sandton. Sandton Convention Center is very much attached to Alex as a township.
Yes, that is true.
Alexandra, right? So imagine, not only Sandton Convention Center, there are other business conference venues, your Maslow, your at Sandton, Capital Hotel, just to mention a few that are in Sandton.
Yeah.
Imagine them having those business events almost every day. They might not be aware, not them as the venue, but also as event organizers. What they might not be aware is that there might be somebody who's based in Alexandra who might be coming and working for those business events every day because of them.
Yes.
And you are not aware of that.
That is true.
So if I certainly agree with you, I wanted to give it a practical example that indeed we might be doing this some for money because it's business, but subsequently or subconsciously you are having an impact to somebody's life every day. And the same person might transform from being a cleaner at that event to being an event organizer.
Absolutely.
If I'm going to Sandton Convention Center every day for the next coming 5 years, I can use my brain and say, or ask, how did you get here? Then you move from the level of being a cleaner to say, I can organize these events too. Because people won't organize event forever. There should always be other people coming up.
Yes.
So there's that ecosystem that we might not be aware of.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's about learning and engaging and giving room for growth, right?
Yes.
And that's the kind of environments that our venues create, that our cities create, and us as organizers and planners.
Indeed, yeah.
Rendani, thank you so much for your time today. Your passion and purpose is so inspiring, and we're so appreciative of all the work you're doing as part of Johannesburg Tourism, and we can't wait to see what else you have in the bag.
No, thank you. Also, thank you to you. I think as much as we are also doing our part, and also this engagement through your podcast, able to reach a lot of people so that they understand what the business event is all about. So thank you for this opportunity. It's also assist the industry to grow through conversations.
Absolutely.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Conversations to connections.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, to all our listeners, remember, conversations like this, like Rendani is actually talking about now, remind us that events are never just about what happens in the room, right? It's about the relationships that are built thereafter and the impact that it leaves. They're also about what gets sparked because of it, right? It's the ideas, the connections, the opportunities, and the impact, like we said, that often carries far beyond the event itself. And in Africa, where growth, innovation, and collaboration are happening at such a powerful pace, the role of our industry becomes even more important. Because we're not just bringing people together, we're helping shape industries, cities, and futures. Rendani, once again, thank you so much for the work you're doing and sharing your perspective with us today. And to everyone listening, this is Africa Event Connect, where we explore the people, the ideas, and the moments shaping the future of events across the continent. I'm Prajani Patha, and I look forward to seeing you again.